Alright, Dave just messaged me and he said, yo, I want an update on that raspberry vinegar I saw in that last video. I'm like, alright. Here we go. This is raspberry vinegar. It's super easy to make vinegar, actually. You can make your own vinegar from pretty much any fruit or vegetable you want. I'm going to show you how I got it started. I'm just going to... All I did is I went to the store, I bought some super fresh raspberries. Now I bought 5 of these. I still have 2 left, so I'm gonna make like a jam or something out of these, but that's not important. What I did is I rinsed them off in the sink in a bowl of water, real gentle, because these things are fragile. I filled up this container, and if you do want to make your own vinegar at home, I recommend against getting a narrow neck like this, because what problem I've experienced a lot of is that air gets stuck in here, and it's super easy for it to just start to rise up and spill out the top. So what I have to do is I have to leave this in the fridge when I go to sleep or go to work, so it's still nice and cold. I just pulled this out of the fridge. But all you gotta do is fill this up and add a little bit of sugar. How much depends on what you use. If you're using a really sweet fruit or something that's not sweet at all, you can make a vinegar out of flower petals. You can make it out of basically whatever plant, any edible plant you want, and it'll make an edible vinegar. But I picked raspberries, and I put in, I think, 5 tablespoons of sugar, 5 or 6, one for each of these squares, I guess. And it's been fermenting for about a week. They've broken up into their little tiny, I don't know what those are called. Some of them are floating on top, some of them have sunk to the bottom. All I gotta do is come in here and just stir it up, make sure nice and good. If you don't stir your vinegar, what's going to happen is that where it's exposed to the air, you're going to start growing mold on top. If you stir it often, anything that tries to get on top will get stirred in, and mold could really only grow where it's exposed to air. Now there's another bacteria inside of here that really only multiplies well when it's not exposed to air, and that's a process called lactofermentation. And I think it's a yeast that converts the sugars into alcohol, and there's another bacteria that's also in the air. These bacteria are everywhere, so you don't have to worry about like buying bacteria or something to do this. You just leave it exposed to the air, and that bacteria will find its way in there. But once you start to get alcohol in here, that other bacteria will start to grow and convert that alcohol into vinegar. So what I've got here is, this has been going for a week now. It went from a nice, sweet, sugary water to, it still smells like raspberry, but it's got like a kind of a bitter smell to it. If I were to taste this right now, it wouldn't really taste like a raspberry juice or anything. So, I've got this here, I've got it stirred up. All I gotta do is put it back up. Leave it on the counter. And unfortunately, because of the problem I mentioned earlier where the gases get stuck in here and it starts to creep up the top, I gotta come over here and check it like every 30 minutes to an hour to make sure it's not creeping up, because it can easily spill out the top. I've had that happen a few times. If you get something with a nice wide top, it's a lot harder for that to happen. If you get something large like slices of apple, that's a lot harder for that to happen. But you can make a vinegar out of whatever. You can do peach, raspberry, apple. You could do rose petals, you know, just something that you want to smell nice, not like, it doesn't even have to be food, per se. So, this is my vinegar. It's been a week. I probably have 2, 3, maybe 4 weeks left. I don't really know. But when it's ready, I will filter out all this stuff, so I'm just left with the liquid, and then I can just cap on. I can put it in the pantry, put it in the fridge. I can use it for cooking. I can mix oil in with it and make it a raspberry vinaigrette, like what you might buy in a bottle. It has the vinegar and oil pre-mixed, or you shake it together. Ignore that, that's not... Okay, anyway. This is my raspberry vinegar. It's pretty simple, not much to explain. There's plenty of videos on YouTube that explain it better than I could, but Dave really wanted you to just see what was going on here. Quick side note, there is another thing that I'm making that's also kind of easy to explain. So I'll go ahead and whip that out from here. I am making cured egg yolks. Brad, that sounds really weird. What are cured egg yolks? And what I have here is a solution of salt, and mostly salt. It's like a 2-part salt, 1 part sugar, so it's not like too salty. And I'm curing egg yolks, and I don't know, it's been going for a few days now, and what this is doing is it's drawing the sugar out of egg yolks. What I did is I created some nice little holes here. I separated the egg yolks from the egg whites, and I put 4 in here, and I covered them up with more salt and sugar. There's also seasoning mixed in. I chopped up basil. I put some other seasonings I forget, and they've just been sitting in here. I'm going to give it a few more days, let them dry out, and I'm going to dig them out of the salt here, and I'll show you what it looks like and what you can use it for when you're cooking. Now, if you look closely in the corner here, you can kind of see in the camera that this spot's a little darker. That's where it's drawn some sugar, or the sugar and salt have drawn some moisture out of the egg yolks. So we're gonna have some nice little yellow pucks in there when the time comes to dig them out. But they're probably not quite ready yet. I'm not gonna risk it. I'm gonna be nice and patient, be a good boy. I'm gonna put this, seal it, put it back in the fridge. So those are the 2 things I'm working on right now: raspberry vinegar and cured egg yolks. And that's all I got for you right now, until my next recipe video. So, see you later.